Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Shador Shudder, coming back to you with a brand new episode of Stoneblock 4. And today, I made a wireless heat transmitter. I actually recorded it, but I forgot to turn my microphone on. So these are not that complicated, not really at all. They require some basic vanilla redstone stuff, and they also require your wireless heat receiver, and that's just basic. And what you do is when you craft this, you just toss it in here and it'll bind it to this actual wireless heater. And that will then be put in here, and that is fuel. You don't have to worry about it, right? And of course, this does hold 1 million FE, which is fantastic, or RF, whatever you want to call it. And these generators are doing pretty darn good with that. After it filled up, they all did actually empty, but now they are back to normal. Also, another thing I added, I decided to just go ahead and make a fuel efficiency augment. Nothing too insane. But I figured that would allow for us to just save a little bit of power, a little bit of time, and that is fantastic. So I also want to grab a couple upgrades for ourselves here, and that will be a magnet. I could go buy one of these, but I have the resources, so I'm not really worried about it. I do want to grab the second tier as well. So do I have an Eye of Ender around here? I think I do. I just don't know where. Oh, it's right here. There we go. All right. And we'll just make the tier 1. And then the tier 2. And we'll activate this by just right-clicking. Shift right-click so you can actually change all of this stuff. I'm going to actually increase this all. And that will be fantastic. And we can just toss this into... Ooh, do we not have a charm slot? And these are all full. Well, that's not fun. I think we'll just take this one off. We'll just hold this one. I think we can use this like this, right? We may get rid of it sooner or later. That's all right. A little bit of a pain, but we will live with it. All right, that's just a couple upgrades for our surrounding area. I think that will be fantastic. Also, the rings that I have on, as you guys saw, these I just got out of the dungeon. They weren't insane or anything like that. But we've got grants fire immunity, slain creatures drop 25% experience, grants poison immunity. I also got this thing that has 13% lifesteal. You saw this one has 13% lifesteal. I also picked up a pair of vampiric gloves. We had another pair of these, but it was like 13% lifesteal. Now this is 19%. So we're just getting upgrades as we're cruising, right? Because I did end up going back down to the Nether dungeon, clearing out a little bit more of it. I haven't cleared out all of it yet, just because, man, I get so much stuff. It is absolutely ridiculous. And actually, speaking of that, I want to head to spawn real quick. And I want to go, I believe, to the quartermaster. And I want to pick up a couple lockpicks. And I actually do want to go back to the Nether dungeon on camera. I want to see what we get. I just think this will be funny. Because I actually missed some chests. And I have a teleporter over in the Nether dungeon here. And I missed a couple chests because I didn't look up. And there are these ones like this room here. So I have already done this bottom floor. But there are plenty of these, and you can see some of these are actually extremely difficult. And it looks like these two here, I'm going to unlock and unlock, and I think this one was the other one, and unlock. So we actually got a flame wind from Simply Swords. That is awesome. I have no idea what this does, but yeah, there's Simply Swords. I haven't actually really looked into that one too much. I've also got an ender bow from the Twilight Forest. What else we got over here? Redstone alloy. And experiment 115. Nothing too insane. Wither skeleton skulls. Plenty of gas tiers. So yeah, these, I've been grabbing lockpicks from the quartermaster. I grabbed 10 previously, and then just ran to chests that were high probability of failure, and then proceeded to just lockpick them, because they usually have some decent stuff. Not like the greatest, but still pretty decent. Also, you can see we actually got a tier 2 add-on for Industrial Foregoing, which is awesome. Alright, let's just snag this stuff up. And then let me just get these last 3, and I'll be back over to the base. We're getting some goodies from this chest, and I kind of wanted to pop on here. So I'm in another one of these rooms, because I went back, and I was like, hey, I know there's a second room in the Nether dungeon, and I've just unlocked 2 of these chests here, and we've got arcane ingots, which I don't know what are. Looks like that's some good stuff from irons. Yeah, we'll have to look at this one. Max irons mana, that's actually really cool. And we got 4 of them. We've also got some sky steel ingots, which is pretty nifty. So that is some good stuff, and I actually have not unlocked all of these. I think I'm going to send this one and this one. Chthonic Gold. Soul Binding Brazier. Spirit Infusion. Okay. I actually have some of this, but I don't know what it was because I didn't really bother looking at it. But, ooh, Annihilation Cores? Man, this is some good stuff. Like, this dungeon definitely, I think, is more profitable than the Stone dungeon, which I assume is intentional because I feel like there would be like a power gap because of Wither Skeleton, because the Nether Skeleton, Wither Skeleton hits probably a little bit harder than a normal skeleton. So that is pretty nifty indeed. All right, what do we got in this last one? 11 Wither Skeleton skulls? Holy cow. That is insanity. We are going to spawn the Wither sooner or later. Not this episode, but just sooner or later. Also, look at this guy. He's got the Twilight Forest Skyleaf pants, I think is what those are. Good stuff. Okay, quickly, I wanted to see about making a disenchanter from Draconic Evolution. I don't know if this is going to work the way I want, but I'm just going to set this here for a minute. So, I have like this, for example. We've got Reaper and Capturing. I kind of want to grab Capturing. So this just costs levels. That's basically all we're doing. Okay. It's not the most effective, but there are some enchants and things in here, in this chest, that I do genuinely want to actually take and use. I don't really need that one. But if it's going to cost me levels, I just need to be more decisive. So, like, this one has Fortune 3 on it. I want that. There's mending on these pants. So, yeah, that's good stuff. Good stuff indeed. I'll keep these diamond pants for now. You know, might as well. Alright, just wanted to show you guys that. Not bad. Good stuff. Fun stuff. I'll be back. Alright, we're committing shenanigans. We are going to use these industrial foregoing item transporters, and we are going to blacklist. I want to grab a couple bottles here. Let's see. And we'll just grab all of them. Okay. So we're not doing anything like automatic, for example, here, but we will just say, hey, we want to blacklist this. I guess we could... Well, no, we don't need to regulate. That should be fine. So when I do this plus this... let's actually quickly go grab... Do I have some, like, normal item pipes? I do. And I wish... I only have 3 of these, which is such a strange amount. What do these cost? Not that much, actually. Okay. I'll grab another set of the item transporters. So here, doesn't really matter. Pull out water bottles. Here, though, we want to make sure that we are pulling out the correct potion. So the correct potion in this case, which if you don't know what we're doing, we're trying to get potions of regen. So I should just be able to do... Ooh, I can't do that. Okay, well, that's a thing. So we're actually going to have to brew up these potions here. So let's just do... Let's... do that. And when these are done, they should transfer down. Okay, they're not transferring down. So do I need to put the filter here? I would think that's correct. Whitelist. Okay, but now it's doing that. That's so strange to me why that filter doesn't work that way. Well, actually, I do have Ender IO conduits, and I think I have... Yeah, I have some basic item filters. Let's try this. I'm just trying to get by with what we have without having to craft too much. Of course, we already crafted some, but that shouldn't be a problem. Also, I want to move this up. Because I should be able to do a chest here, this here, and that way we'll have storage of the awkward potions, if that makes sense. And then I'll just use this crystal chest that I just got from that bee to do the water bottles. Awkward, awkward, awkward. Okay, so let's try this. So if I do this and this, if I do insert rather than extract, if I do extract with a filter, and I grab the awkward potion, whitelist or allow list, this one doesn't need to have anything, and then we just need to do insert, and then here we'll do extract, and we just want to make sure that we are not extracting awkward potion, so deny list. And then, of course, here we just make sure we do insert, and then, of course, here, let's make sure that we're doing always active. Always active. Always active. And then extract, always active, and then insert. See, why is it... I'm so confused on why this is not functioning. Well, with two options out of the way, I guess realistically our only option is to go for pipes. It's not what I want to go for, per se, but I think that will be our simplest solution. We'll figure it out. All right, let's get this placed down. Let's get this, this, and this. But it doesn't use the chests. Interesting. Okay. Well, slash home. Let me get a couple of these advanced pipe upgrades, and we'll be right back. Alrighty. So, we're going to get working on the pipes. I think the configurator should work here, so we don't need to go find the pipe wrench. So, what we're going to do is we are going to say, on this one, advanced pipe upgrade. And we are going to grab a water bottle, add, throw that in there, and we are going to match exact NBT, regular, inverted. I think inverted is what we want here. So when I put a water bottle in here, it should stay in here. Okay? Okay, let me go. Just empty out my inventory by doing that real fast. So we just want awkward potions. And we'll want to do another upgrade. So advanced pipe upgrade, awkward potion, edit. Actually, no. This one doesn't matter. This is the wrong one. We need this one. edit, invert, match exact, submit, and then that should be throwing the awkward potions in here. They shouldn't go anywhere, and they'll end up in the bottom portion here. Man, that was overly complicated. I apologize for that. I was hoping that we'd have the ability to do that with other mods, but that's okay. So now, all we need to do is we need to supply blaze powder, this, and that should be a basic automated regeneration potion maker, basically, for the hell shelf. That's all we're doing. We just want the hell shelf. And to do that, we need potions of regen. Alright, hell shelves. Here we go. We're just going to slowly make hell shelves, because I can't do multiple. So, I'm just going to do all 15, I think. I don't think that's the worst idea here. Oh, I have more. I have 2 stacks, because I figured I wouldn't have enough for 15 with just one. Okay, there is all 15 hell shelves, and that should be good. Let's actually move this one. Okay, so that is 54% Quanta, 39 Eterna, and the max is 45. So I think I could go for a few more of these guys. All right, let's try that. So that is 45. So how many is 45? Is it 16 bookshelves? No, it's 17 bookshelves. So if I just put these guys in the corner here, what do I need to infuse this guy? So I do need... requires at least and at least 30. So I just don't have enough levels. Okay, so I've got to go fight some mobs, I think, to get some. Alright, no big deal. Be back in a bit. Okay, after a little while, I think we've got enough levels here. So we should just be able to do infusion and infusion. Oh, I'm actually out of levels again. Okay, well, I will have to get that solved. Okay, quickly, I was looking at the quest here. So we actually need 4 deep shelves and 2 echoing. So, I mean, we can grab the basic deep shelves here. That's not the right stuff. And I think that this is... yeah, this is cracked Deepslate tile. Which I think is like... What is this? How do I make this again? Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's bricks. Okay, so I'll take these. And then that would be what we need plus books. And that will be... so there's 4 and then 2. Right? Okay. And then we would need to... so all of these need to be infused. So if I add these two, just like these purely infused hell shelves, what does that get us to? So that gets us to 40 Eterna. And we need how much? 60, 40, and 40. So we actually do need to get Arcana before we even bother with this. So we'll need technically to get some sea shelves, I do believe. Because right now, even with just candles, I mean, we're at 32%. Hold on. If I were to... I don't think these guys have a variation. Yes, they do. Okay. So if we grab some wither skeleton skulls... that's Quanta, though. Not Arcana. I thought one of these guys... did Arcana, but I'm wrong. So the candles are the must. What did I do? There's some candles. There's some more candles. They're there. Okay, so if we go and we add... There we go. So now all we need to do is infuse the hell shelves. Alright, so quickly, I want to do a couple things here. I want to quickly grab just a handful of glowstone here, probably 16. And I want to go take these infused shelves off. And I want to convert these guys into the glowing hell shelf. That will give us just a little bit more arcana. And that actually will allow for us to take some of these guys away. These candles, at least. Let's set the 4 back down. And that should be 50. Let me just quickly pull that off. It'll be a handful of levels wasted, but I think that'll be worth it. We'll get Silk Touch that way. And then just get another diamond pickaxe of some sort. And we can hopefully go grab some spawners and just maybe farm using those. Alright, a little bit of a time jump here. I have made a spawner. I was going to record this, but I was like, I've done this so many times, and they really haven't changed anything like I expected them to. So I have echoing, I have ignore conditions, I have max spawn delay decreased, I have the initial health decrease, I have the min spawn delay decrease, 2 plus max entities, I've increased that to max. I've done silent. I've also done spawn count, and you can see that all here. This is the spawner I have. I just put a zombie spawn egg in here. I actually didn't have a zombie spawner, but I did have a handful of just odds and ends, and I do have a handful more now because I did make a sword with capturing, or I found a sword with capturing on it, so I just decided to use that. But yeah, so this has been working. These guys spawn quite easily, and of course I just jump out here, and I've just been swinging on them. Of course, this does make this a little less efficient because I am wasting time doing this, but I've got plenty of levels. Ooh, they actually have a cat. Morgana. I don't know if that's like a reference to something, but this allowed for me to get enough hell shelves infused, which they look exactly like a hell shelf, so it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a handful here. I think just these and the corners behind are infused hell shelves. So now we should be able to take the deep shelves, the dormant deep shelves, and actually make these full. And I should have almost every level. Nope, I'm going to run low. Okay, well, the good thing is I didn't remove this. And also, the Silk Touch, I can just pick this up and move it whenever I need to. So I'll use this spawner a ton, most likely, in the beginning here, just to get levels and get materials. Because if I can spawn, odds and ends, I can definitely do this. And of course, I'm also getting iron from this, using my sword with Scavenger 3 and looting and all of this other stuff. So the one problem is I should probably use wireless redstone here. But for some reason, I keep forgetting to have a better method of turning this thing off. But there is the redstone links we got forever ago from the very first vault we did. Yeah, this stuff right here. If we just grab out both of these, I could just do... Let me clear these guys here real quick. Okay. And I could just do this, and then slap rotten flesh on the red. There we go. And then we just need to make sure, let me just dump all this in here, that we make this into an umbrella. I think I have to shift right click. Can I have something in my offhand when I shift right click? No. Well, maybe I have to be able... No, I don't think I can. All right. Just testing. It's easier when you do nothing in your hand. I don't have anything in my inventory that I can really test with, right? So we'll just send it. All right, let's grab this lever. And all we do is this. And that way we can turn this on and off when we need to and don't have to run in there and damage our armor or anything like that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's dump all of the rotten flesh we've gotten into the drawer. Man, I've gotten so much... Look at all this apotheosis stuff, too. That was not something I was expecting, was all the apotheosis gems and stuff to be popping out of here. But it looks like it's happening. Of course, we're getting a whole bunch of crappy armor as well, which I think I can just toss in here and have that disappear down into, like, nuggets and stuff. I don't know about this stuff, but we'll just go with it. Okay. Anyway, that is some good stuff. That is getting us the levels. So we should now be able to get the last dormant deep shelf into a normal deep shelf. There we go. And then now we just need to do the echoing, which is this one. And I have the candles, don't I? I think in one of these chests. Just gonna quickly do... There we go. And then the echo shard should be down in this chest. I only used 3. I was making sure I wasn't going hog wild and using a whole bunch of these. So I just need 2 of these guys, right? That's, I think, what this thing said. 2. Perfect. 1. 2. $75 and Alfred GG something. Shredder of Destruction. Okay, that's insanity. 8.5 attack damage, 6+ luck, 25 crit chance. Or no, 25 fire damage, 70% crit chance. And this thing actually has Ancient Knowledge, which if you don't know what Ancient Knowledge is, that can give you more levels. Let's actually test this. I'm kind of curious what this thing does. Let's just get some zombies spawning in. Look at how many levels I'm getting. This is absolutely broken. I just got so many levels. But yeah, that Ancient Knowledge plus stacking, that's insanity. Holy cow. This is insane. This is our primary weapon now. I don't even care if I can enchant this. I can enchant this. That's gonna break some stuff. Holy cow. So all I've got to do is just go disenchant this thing. Because that's what I would want to do. Okay. Well, I don't want to do that right now. I'll do that off camera. But that is this guy. Let's go over, pop back to spawn. Why do I keep typing? Let's just click a button. And this is the enchanter. Complete stage. Seek other echoes to continue your path. We may meet again should you embrace the deep, but my shop remains open should you require it. And this guy has everything open up. Before actually completing the quest, I actually came over here to look, because I was curious. But this actually has the Death Tome, which if you don't know what the Death Tome is from Twilight Forest, that mob can drop quite a bit of goodies, if I remember correctly. Yeah, he can drop enchanted books. I mean, this other stuff's good too, but the enchanted books is what you're kind of wanting to look at for him, because that would be some good stuff. Especially because I think you can throw those into the disenchanter, the disenchantment generator, and that would be epic to do. So, just some options. All right. Man, that is so insane. I kind of want to just, like, sit here for a little bit and just... And this thing looks like it's indestructible, by the way. I don't have to worry about levels, I don't think, anymore. I should have to worry about the amount of rotten flesh I can store, I think. Alright, well, What did we need from this? So we got $25 and submitting the blocks required for the upgrade and claiming its rewards will automatically assemble your team's world engine. Okay, so we just submit, complete. So where is this actually placing? So right there. Okay. Interesting, interesting. I don't even know what that does for us, honestly. But that is the middle section completed. And I think, realistically, we could go and complete this one too. So let's just do that this episode. Oh. Man, I really wish the portal would close behind me sometimes. Like, on these warps specifically, not whenever I'm, like, transporting through... Okay, so let's just get this going here. So I'm going to quickly just clear this out. And we just need glass, which I actually just smelted up quite a bit of glass. So there's that portion. Aluminum. And if I don't have any over here, I have some behind us. How much does this require? 36? How much do we get? So we get a stack. Okay, so that's not a problem. And then 8 obsidian, which the obsidian's up here right now, because I have way too much of it. So let's just quickly craft up this. And what else do we need for this? Because I feel like we're going to need some sort of shenanigans. So we're going to need 819,000. 819. Okay. Well, where is my energy cube? So I definitely don't have that amount in here, but we can go charge this. There's nothing being ran right now. This stuff finished up a little bit ago. So that is beautiful. Tons and tons of resources. All right, we're back over at the world engine. We're going to plop that down, put this down, put this down, put that down. And... oh, I need the star, which is in my bag. Perfect. And this should be over enough power, because this thing already had 250,000 FE in it. But I did get this thing up to like 870,000 FE, so that way we wouldn't have to worry about it. And then that means, with this completed, we just need to get through this portion, which is probably going to be not that far, and we'll get to tier 3 pretty quickly. So that is beautiful. And then how do you actually charge this back? So you get another Nether star. Interesting. Okay, well... 75, and we got something else. Netherite hammer with basically it's unbreakable. Okay. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous, ridiculous. This thing has a 26 plus mining efficiency. Goodness gracious. That is ridiculous, but I love it. Okay. So we just go back to spawn. And we go to the Wayfinder. And we click complete. I have no further guidance for now. Seek out the other echoes as your path continues to unfold. So we now have access to their entire shop, which means that we could actually get an elytra. Also, one of the things I forgot to mention, I did get the conduit for the spawner from the... actually, a couple places. I already had Nautilus shells. I don't remember where I got them. I got them forever ago at this point. But I went to the Echo of the Enchanter and actually grabbed a Heart of the Sea. So that was actually a really easy grab, and that it was fantastic, because that did allow for me to do the conduit. Without the conduit, by the way, the chickens weren't spawning, because I originally started with chickens and then moved to zombies, so I highly doubt the zombies would have spawned either. So just keep that in mind. Man, ooh, travel anchors. Of course, we've got the Echo Shards. Man, there's some good stuff in here. I don't really know about the use for like Enderman heads, but I feel like Ender IO probably needs them for something. Silver ingots? That's a strange one. 2 silver ingots. Just gonna grab that one. Oh, when we get reimbursed a little bit. I saw that. Where did that go? It's in here, isn't it? Well, we've got this one. Where in the world was that? Useful items? Yeah, we got $3. Got a little bit of money back from that. Fantastic. Fantastic indeed. Okay. So /home. I see that tier 3 is available to us now. Somewhat. We can see that there is, of course, still 3. This looks like it's very nether focused with something here. I don't know what this is. I see there's the end. I see there's something here. This looks like that is mechanism lasers. Not mechanism in and of itself, but the mod mechanism lasers. And that is going to be interesting. I also see like a disco floor. Those are the actual 3 echoes for the next round is what that is, by the way, the backgrounds, which is actually really nifty. All right, so 25, and then we submit this stuff, and we assemble. This will take us back to the world engine. So those green squares are where this stuff's being placed, okay. Okay. And also, I'll take this back. Just in case. But I think that's going to do it for this episode. I don't really want to keep on keeping on, because I think we're getting a little past time. But whenever we get into this one, which I don't really know what this is requiring. So superheating element and transferring of heat. Heating things up. So your recessive heater. 2k FE total... 2k FE a tick is ideal for hitting around 350 degrees Celsius. Use Spectre coils? What is Spectre coils? I have no idea. I feel like that's a nod to something else. Interesting. Well, that'll be something we'll look at. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome. And again, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.